What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Thursday. It's a thirsty Thursday, and it's a good thing because I got a shitload of rain coming for us, so I will not be thirsty. Plenty of wetness will be surrounding the area as Hurricane Helene is on her way. That filthy, filthy bitch. Oh, anyway, um, yeah, we're getting ready for a heavy dose of I think it's going to be a category 3. Um, oh, check this out. Hopefully I remember how to do this. I want to show you guys something. Oh, where is it? There it is. So yeah, that is Helene. It's getting huge. That's what she said. So yeah, I don't think that Georgia at Bama game is going to happen. Just my thoughts, but that thing is wide on all sides. Anyway, enough of that. Stop. Okay, so that was useless information for you if you're coming here for just Buckeye stuff. Enough of the weather, but I'm loaded up on. I went to the liquor store the other day, the grocery store, all the priorities. We're good. Um, so let's do it here. We're talking Jim Knowles and a little bit of Will Howard at the end. I'm going to give you what they said and kind of give you my take on their coach speak type of answers. So starting off, there was not a defensive player of the game named after the Marshall game. Why was that? He said, you got to speak to truth. They had some champions, but nobody played a silver bullet level of defense. I would echo that. I would say the exact same thing. Go check the defensive grades episode I did on Tuesday. Not good at all. Too many missed tackles and other things. But there is a bright spot here to this defense so far. He said only 5 explosive plays have been given up over the first 3 games. That's a big deal. It has a lot to do with the secondary keeping things in front of them. Of course, yes. So we all know that the safeties are the last line of defense, and Caleb Downs seems to be your best option at safety. So I would not expect him to let something break out the gate. So he said he was asked if it's a good thing to have some struggles last week. Does that keep the guys on high alert, for what's to come? He said, no, it's never a good thing. I can't argue with him, man. It's never a good thing to have struggles on defense. He did say on the bright side, there are learning experiences, so there are things there they can correct. He was asked if he was frustrated on Saturday. He said, yeah, a little bit. Our expectation is to be dominant all the time. And we did what we were supposed to do in the second half. I would say yes. But what happened to the first half? Football is played in 2 halves, not just one. On the D tackles, he said, I thought Taiwan showed up, definitely flashed a couple of times in terms of being athletic and running to the ball. He said Caden McDonald is interesting because he's very talented and plays hard. It's a matter of consistency with him and predictability. So those two go hand in hand, right? If you're consistent, then the coaches know what they can get out of you. Therefore, you are predictable, and you're not wondering what's going to happen on this play. He said Caden has shown the ability to mess things up in there. That sounds like a positive. Mess things up in there. He says they're hopeful that Tyleek will be back this week. They haven't discussed who might start in place of him yet. On the linebackers, he said he was pleased overall. I would argue that one to my core. 3 missed tackles by one player in the linebacker room is not ever acceptable. I would not be pleased. He said the linebackers know the system. They operate. They can make checks. They see things before they happen. They've been matching up pretty well in pass coverage. Right. But now let's talk about tackling. He said they need to get better at tackling. He said it's a science. You never practice it live. Uh, that seems weird. You don't practice tackling in practice ever? That's not true. I can't believe that's true. He said even when you make the tackle, is it a 5 yard gain or a 3 yard gain? He said they need to continue working on that to get more physical tackles and more speed of the game tackles. Yes, that seems like when you're going ones against ones, that should be all out full go except for the quarterback, right? What are we doing? I mean, anyway, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me because I thought we were always going ones against ones, all out, full blocking, full tackling, except you can't hit the quarterback in practice on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Maybe I'm crazy. He said Sonny Styles and Cody Simon have established themselves as the starters and the top two linebackers. He says it's not an option to play Arvell Reese at the will. He said Arvell Reese is like a blinking light, and they're just trying to get that thing to stay on. So it's always a steady stream of light. So yeah, Arvell is not being moved to Will. He is a Mike only. At safety, talked about Caleb Downs. I mean, nothing but praise, of course. Caleb Downs is a professional. He has a seriousness to his work. He's coachable. He makes mistakes, but he fixes them. He picks up on the slightest nuances that they might throw at him week to week. All right, so let's get into Will Howard. He had a few quotes here. Will talked about his interception. He said the corner made a good play. After looking at it, they want the receiver splits to be a little closer. So at the line of scrimmage, they want Jeremiah a little closer to the line of scrimmage. That way they have more room to work with down the sideline, because that corner is going to try and nudge you to the end, to the sideline. So if you're spaced properly, you got more room to work with. So, but he's Howard's supposed to put the ball on a certain spot, and he knows he can't throw picks. On the wide receivers, he said Carnell Tate's done a really, really good job without the ball in his hands. He's taken ownership of blocking and being a leader in the locker room. And remember, he's just a second-year guy. He's a true sophomore. He said they are all selfless in the receiver room. They want to continue to reward Carnell for his work in the blocking game. Will was asked about how he feels on the deep pass consistency right now. He said it's just about repetitions. They didn't have many opportunities in the last game, and they didn't need to. They're not going to complain about guys taking slant routes for 53 yards to the house. And they haven't shown many deep shots yet. So we'll see if they expand that, maybe take a few. I think they're 4 of 7 on the season. So that's not bad. It's over 50%, man. Safeties, he was asked what's tough about going against Caleb Downs. He said Downs plays so hard downhill and reacts so quickly. You have to be quicker and right with your reads. You have to read correctly, quickly, as a quarterback going against Downs. He says it changes the way you run the RPO because he can leverage issues. Going against Sparty, he said that Michigan State has good players up front and the secondary. They attacked Boston College more than their other opponents. Number 2 off the edge is good. He said the linebackers are veteran who are instinctive and play downhill. This will be the best front they've seen outside of practice. So, yeah, not surprised. We've seen this escalation in quality of opponent on both sides of the ball, honestly, and especially on defense here with Sparty coming, or us going up to see Sparty. He said that there are more opportunities for him to show his running ability, and those are probably coming. And he said that there's still more they can show in the RPO game as well. So he said we have the talent and the ability, and we should beat everyone every week. That's quote of the day for me. We should beat everyone every week. Very simple. No doubt about it. So got a night game coming up here at Sparty, and let's crank it up one more time, and let's go beat some Sparty ass. So anyways, I'll be back with your 5 keys to a Buckeye victory tomorrow, and your best bets tomorrow night or early Saturday morning, whenever I can get that out to you. So doing pretty well on the best bets, I should say. I do say so my damn self, but I appreciate you guys hopping along, following along. I know there's a lot of shows out there, but I appreciate you watching this one or listening. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.